Hey, what is going on, guys? Here I've got an early sample of the ATK girl, nine-tailed fox, and I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. It looks super cool. It's been a while since I've checked out any attack girl kits, and so it'll be really nice to check in on the line. And this one looks like it comes with some really cool stuff in here as well. So obviously it's going to have like a design theme based off of the Japanese nine-tailed fox. And as you can see here, as usual, we've got a pretty big box here with a lot of stuff inside. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let's get into it. And so for the front box art here, you've got this really nice mix of glossy finish for the photo of the kit there. You've got silver here for the text, and then a nice matte finish there for the background, which all looks really nice. Very premium looking box here. Aside from all the text and logos, we've got different images of the kit on each end of the box here as well, with like a kind of like sniper rifle style weapon there. And then on the other side, you can see it with all of the tails and everything there in the background, and using this more kind of spear or staff kind of style weapon. On the bottom of the box here, you can see what the kit is going to look like, all built up there with this very ornamental looking armor there, which looks really cool. There's the armored up form, and then we've got this mask here as well, and then obviously the tails there at the back. Or if you prefer the more simpler styling of just the base body here, I gotta say I do really like the look of the base body here for this one as well. So there's a look at just kind of a bit about the articulation and images of what the kit is going to look like. It looks like probably just straight out of the box there for that here on this side of the box. All right, let's crack it open and see what we've got inside here. We've got a display base, that's good. That's been normal for this line. We've got some face option parts here, it looks like. We've got a couple here that are individually bagged, and then we've got this bag with more faces in there, as well as a set of unprinted faces there, it looks like, because we are also going to have 2 sheets of water slide decals in here, with the smaller of the 2, it looks like mostly being for the face there, so different facial expressions you can use these decals for. And the larger of the 2 sheets here being decals mostly for the armor and everything. So you have Fox Driver there for like the larger logos, and then these other markings that are going to go around there, mostly here all in red or black for the marking decals. We've also got this furry scarf bit here, which is going to go around, and it looks like this has a wire on the inside, so you can kind of form the shape of this around the character, which will be good. It's in this kind of like fuzzy black material there. There is a certain name for this type of fashion accessory, and it's just escaping me at the moment. But anyway, let's check out the instruction manual here. So we've got the same box art photograph there, kind of the box art basically just kind of wraps around the manual. On the inside, just like on the outside of the box, we've got more images of the kit here, but some nice reference images here, which would be useful for posing the kit, as well as just kind of getting an idea of how it's going to look. And then we've got our parts list here on the next page, as it looks like all the construction is going to be here in black and white, with just a little bit of kind of a reddish pink color used to highlight some of where the connections are. Otherwise, yeah, it's all there in black and white. And for each section, it is going to let you know which runners are used. So here, for example, for this section, it's going to use these runners right here. That's always convenient, but it doesn't give you all the list of like all the parts, just the runners. So there's that. And we've got our complete diagram here, which is going to be showing where the decals are going to go on the finished kit. And then the last couple more color pages here are going to be talking about the weapons display. So again, just kind of some nice sample reference images here, nice big photographs of the finished kit, how that's meant to look there. All right, getting into the runners then. So here is that clear display base. It's actually runner Z1 in clear black here. And then kind of separate from the rest here, runner A2 is going to be in white for all of our wrist joints, for all of the hands. And then here on runner, what is technically runner O, we've got our soft plastic runner here in white for all of our different hand option parts. Runner A we have 2 of for our skin tone color parts here. And I believe that means that we should have all of the parts to make both bodies at the same time, so you're not having to choose between the armored and unarmored bodies. We'll find out here shortly. Runner B is going to be some of the body parts here in white there, and it looks like we've got parts like for the thighs there, as well as parts for the arms that are just going to be single solid parts there, no seam lines on those, which is nice. Runner C we also have 2 of for our hair parts. One is in a lighter pink, one is in a darker pink color there. Runner D is going to be some parts here in a clear red, and runner E is going to be a bunch of parts here of the armor there in black. Runner F we have 2 of for a bunch more of the white armor pieces there, and then runner G as well. A lot of this looking like it's more of the equipment and stuff here, but some more parts there in white. including the mask part up there as well. Up next here in gray, we have 2 of runner H there, and then 1 of runner I for again some more of the mechanical type equipment parts there, and then 2 of runner J here as well for some more parts there in black. Runner K is going to be the last of our white armor pieces here, obviously parts for the tails, as we've got 2 of this runner as well. Runner L we also have 2 of, some more parts there in gray, and again probably for the tails it would look like, with just being a lot of repeated parts there. Same thing for runner M here, a bunch of parts there in black, and we've got 2 of this M runner. And lastly then runner N we also have 2 of. We've got some more parts here in that really nice looking clear red, and that's it for all of the parts and runners and everything. Let's go ahead and get this put together and we'll check it out. Alright guys, then here's how the kit is going to look all built up. Obviously without the signature 9 tails aspect, just the base body is how we'll start off the review portion of the video here, and we'll take a look at the tail section kind of as an accessory, together with the few other accessories that she has. She's basically got a few accessories for changing forms from the base body to the more armored body form, and then like the tail section obviously, and her 1 main weapon. So there's not a whole lot there, but even though it's been a little while since I've built an ATK girl, it's a pretty familiar build process here for these. Very familiar if you're used to building girl model kits like this. I do like the little bit larger size that we have here with the ATK girls compared to stuff like Megami Device or 30-Minute Sisters from Bandai. But as you can see, the kit looks great. We'll talk about it in some more detail here, but first let's take a look at those accessories. And so first of all, we've got our face option parts. Here's what 2 of the 4 are going to look like for this head option, just kind of a straight face, and you've got this kind of open mouth with the teeth showing there. Our other 2 face option parts here with kind of the pouting face and the slightly tongue out the corner of the mouth. The pre-printing and colors on those look really nice. You even have like the blushing cheeks there and everything. So those are some nice face option parts. For our hand options, you can see we've got a set of these kind of open expressive hands there like that. We've got the weapon holding hands here for the left and right side. We've also got a set of peace sign hands here. For the right side only, we have this pointing hand, and for the left side only, we have this OK sign, so you can kind of make of that what you will. For the left and the right, we also have this set of the heart sign hands here with the finger and thumb, like Korean style, making the heart there. So that's cool. And then the 2 hands which fit together to make a heart here like this. Or again, of course, you could do it with just the 1 hand against the face like that. How they do it these days is the thing. So other than that, for our body option parts here, we're going to swap the forearm here below the elbow joint for this bit of armor, which has the claws at the back, which will fold out there like that. So this is just made up of some gray, black, and white pieces there aside from the clear red. And then down here for the legs, we're going to swap that out there at the thigh for these armored leg parts here. And then for the claws on the back of the leg, actually we can fold the foot part back like this, and then this whole part will kind of rotate around, and then you've got the claws there out the front, so you can have them just like a flat like that for just like a standing pose, or you know, at whatever angle for a slashing or jumping, flying, kicking, whatever you want to do. You have this clear part here on the back side, which will also move a bit, so that's so when you bend the knee, that clear part can kind of move up out of the way, so you can get a nice full knee bend here with those parts. Pretty cool looking. And then for the head, our head option part here has a face part which is different. So there is a face part in there, but you're not able to swap the other faces in there. So that was just fixed into this head option with the face mask. It's kind of like a whole thing. And you'll notice we have our 2 different hair colors. You can choose which color you want on which head. It's basically up to you. You could also mix them too, is another option, because as you saw in the unboxing portion of the video, we have just that same runner just doubled. So you have all those hair parts in either color. So I just went for the lighter color for the base body and the darker color here for the head with the mask. And I will say it was a little bit tricky to get that clear part into there in the construction, so just take your time with that in order to get that in there properly. It's kind of hard to see in the manual. We've then got our display base here in clear black, and you have more of these extension arm pieces if you wanted to make it like a 3-section part, or just like multiple of like the longer sections or multiple of the shorter sections. You can choose between that. I just kind of have it set up here just as it's kind of like the simple form, and you've got a couple points of articulation here for that. Can rotate and rotate here and do all that. So it's not like super tight, and I'm worried about with the weight of the kit if this is going to like want to like fall off to the side kind of thing. So we might have to tighten the joints in the display base here at some point, but we'll see. And then aside from that cloth bit, which we saw before, we've also got her main weapon, and kind of the only weapon really is this, just this spear kind of staff here. And so she'll be able to just hold the handle of that. This can then also be used as a rifle by holding onto this kind of bit right here as a handle, and then this part being the barrel out like that, so it's sort of like a long sniper rifle there, sort of. And then of course the tail section here, which you'll notice is actually 8 tails, and I guess that the weapon makes the 9th tail, so you have this mounting arm there in the center that the weapon can fit onto here like this, so it can kind of hold that there in the center. But otherwise, other than that, you've just got some nice articulation for each of these parts. These 2 bottom ones are a little bit different from the 6 at the top, but the blades slide out there on those. And then for the 6 at the top, they have an additional joint in there, so these have a little bit further articulation there kind of in those. The blades also will slide in and out slightly there on those. And you got these effect parts here kind of sticking out, but you don't necessarily have to have those sticking out like that. And then you can kind of sort of close this up there on the top, not really fully, even if you tuck that part down inside there. But so yeah, this is going to plug onto the back of the body here using 2 pegs, which is great for stability. That'll be really nice, because if it were just a single peg or something, again, just because of the weight, it would be like wanting to rotate to one side or the other. But some cool, really sharp parts in here, so do be careful with that as well. But before we take a look at that on the kit, just a couple of other things that I wanted to point out to you guys. So obviously changing between the forms, you're not going to change anything here with the body, so that's just going to stay how it is. You do have some leftover skin tone color parts for the body, but not enough to make like a whole second body or anything like that at all. And so there's where the backpack's going to plug into. You can also just plug the display base into there. I did forget to mention that at the base of the backpack is a hard point for plugging the display base into the base of the backpack rather than the body, which will be good because this is definitely the much heavier portion of the kit. The hair parts here are connected via ball joints, so you can move those around. And then this whole section here that those longer parts plug into can also move up and down here on the back of the head too, which is kind of a nice point of articulation there. Otherwise, most all of the rest of the articulation is going to be pretty standard. We do have a double joint in the elbow, which is going to give you a pretty full bend there, a double joint in the knee, which will also give you a nice full bend as well. I do like that the shoes here, or high heel shoes, have that clear red part for the bottom side of the shoes, kind of cool. And then otherwise, just in the body here, we just got the one articulation point between the top and bottom half of the body. No separate section here for the hips or anything like that, so it's just this part here at the top, which will allow you some movement side to side, forward and back here as well, something like that. So nice range of posability here for this one. So let's go ahead then and take a look at the kit here in a few different poses just to wrap up the review. So really cool kit, definitely like the style of this one. It's got a great design to it, and even the base form I actually really like. This is one of those where, again, I feel like I've talked about this in other Mecha Musume or Girl Plot kits before, where I do wish that sometimes when they come out with these kits, they would also release a kind of a basic version where it's just the base body, because I honestly really just like the base body of this without all the extra armor, without the 9 tails and weapons and all that. And so the base body on its own looks great, but then of course it does look really cool with all the extra stuff on there as well. So kind of whichever form you wanted to go with for this one, I think you're going to be happy with it. It does look really cool with the 9 tails there, quite impressive looking, and interestingly kind of just like very different, because you know we had like the Asura 9 tails Megami device kit, which was kind of ultimately a kind of similar theme for the design, but obviously ended up looking very different. So between the two, you got very different kind of takes on the whole 9-tail fox kind of aesthetic there. And some nice extras to have included in there as well. You do also have those water slide decals. You can also make more face option parts with those and the blank faces that we have included. And then the scarf is a nice option to have in there as well. So some cool extras, a nice display stand that works well enough with this. And ultimately just kind of no complaints with this. Some nice hand option parts in there as well. Great for some nice expressive posing. So it's one of those that I think you guys will definitely enjoy. Nothing really that I could say in terms of negatives about this. Overall, nice, good, solid kit. It's really cool to check out one of these a little bit early, but so if you guys are interested in checking this out, if you have not pre-ordered it already, you should be able to pre-order it now. The link will be down in the video description, as always, there for US at Gundam Store. You guys can check out this kit and everything else there on the site. We've got other kits from the ATK Girl series, of course, and then all sorts of other Girl Plot and Mecha Musume model kits from Bandai, Kotobukiya, and everywhere else as well. So check out all those there on the site. As always, guys, thanks so much for checking out the video here today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe as well while you're here so you don't miss any future uploads. But for now, thanks so much, guys, and I hope you're all doing well. See y'all later. Bye, guys.